How to find meaning beyond work and career. When the job ends but the clock keeps ticking. For decades, your alarm clock defined your life. You woke up for a reason that had a title, a schedule, a paycheck. You spent years building, producing, contributing, and somewhere inside, that became your identity. Then one morning, the job ended, and the silence felt louder than the work ever was. No meetings, no targets, no rush, just quiet. That's when the question hits harder than ever. Who am I now that I'm no longer what I used to do? And that question, as painful as it feels, is the beginning of your greatest freedom. The myth of purpose. Society taught us that our worth comes from productivity, that what we do is who we are. But purpose isn't tied to your position, it's tied to your presence. Work is a chapter, purpose is the book. And if you're in your 60s wondering what's next, let this truth land softly. Your most meaningful work might not be behind you, it might just be beginning. Because purpose doesn't retire, it reinvents. The silence that scares you. Many people fear retirement not because of money, but because of meaning. The routine goes away, and suddenly they face a kind of silence they've never known. At first, it feels empty, but if you listen long enough, that silence becomes a mirror. It reflects what truly matters. The dreams you postponed, the people you neglected, the parts of yourself you buried beneath deadlines. And slowly, you start realizing that meaning doesn't come from title. It comes from attention, from what you give your time, your care, your curiosity to. Now that you finally have it back, when the ladder disappears. For 40 years, you were climbing, promotion after promotion, goal after goal. But here's the truth no one tells you. The ladder never ends, it just gets narrower. And when you finally step off, you realize you were never meant to live your whole life climbing. You were meant to walk on your own ground, at your own pace. After 60, your value isn't in how high you go. It's in how deeply you live. You trade status for stillness, deadlines for daylight, pressure for presence. And for the first time, you can breathe without earning it. The work beneath the work. Even in retirement, your spirit doesn't stop working. It just changes its assignment. Now, your work isn't about profit. It's about people. It's about the conversations that heal, the stories that guide, the time that uplifts. You may no longer have a boss, but you have a calling, and that calling might be quieter, but it's deeper. Your job gave you skills. Life gave you wisdom. And the world still needs both, not in offices, but in hearts. When doing becomes being, there's a sacred shift that happens when you stop asking, what should I do today? And start asking, how do I want to feel today? In your working years, your value was measured by output. Now, it's measured by outlook. When you stop doing just to fill time and start being to fill your soul, you begin to feel peace again. You start cooking not to feed a family, but to taste gratitude. You garden not to pass time, but to watch creation unfold. You wake up not for meetings, but for mornings. And that's when you realize you haven't stopped contributing. You just change your currency. The mirror of legacy. Purpose after work isn't about repeating the past. It's about using it. Every lesson you learned, every failure you survived, every success you earned, it's all raw material for meaning. Legacy isn't what you leave behind when you die. It's what you share while you're still here. Mentor someone. Tell your stories. Write that book, even if only one person reads it. Your experiences are someone else's roadmap. The years you worked built a career. The years ahead can build a legacy. The freedom of slower days. You finally get to live life on your terms. No clock in, no rush hour, no late night deadlines. And while that might feel strange at first, it's actually the gift you worked so hard for. Now, your calendar isn't your master, it's your canvas. You can fill it with the things that make you feel alive. Walks in nature, time with loved ones, service to others, quiet mornings with tea. Because the slower your life becomes, the more details you begin to notice. And those details are what meaning is made of. The 7/30/90 day meaning reset plan. 7 days, the pause. Spend 1 hour a day alone with no distractions. Ask yourself 3 questions. What makes me feel alive? What did I love doing before I got busy? Who do I want to become in this new season? Write every answer without judgment. 30 days. The Purpose Project. Choose one activity that gives you energy, mentoring, volunteering, teaching, or creating, dedicate 30 minutes daily to it. Record what emotions surface: peace, excitement, curiosity. By the end of 30 days, you'll begin to see a pattern. That purpose is not found, it's felt. 90 days, the legacy blueprint. Design one long-term project that reflects your wisdom. Maybe a small community group, a video series, a memoir, or an online skill class. Focus not on how many people notice, but how deeply you connect. By day 90, you'll realize you didn't lose purpose when you left work. You simply changed where it lives. When value comes from presence, you don't have to prove your worth anymore. You've already done that. You've earned the right to slow down, to enjoy, to just be. And when you live from that place, you give something powerful to the world. Your calm, your patience, your groundedness. That's your new form of contribution, not through noise, but through nurture. The world doesn't need more workers. It needs more wise souls who remind us what really matters. The rebirth of purpose. At first, stepping away from your career feels like losing identity. But then, something unexpected happens. You meet yourself again, the version of you that existed before the titles. The child who was curious, creative, and alive. And you realize, that person never left. They were just waiting for the noise to fade. You're not starting over. You're coming home. The final lesson. When work ends, life doesn't shrink, it expands. Because now, every hour belongs to you again. The purpose of your career was to build stability. The purpose of your later years is to build serenity. Meaning is not what you achieve, it's how you see. And when you see life as a gift, even ordinary moments become sacred. So take a breath, look around. This peace, this simplicity, this freedom is the promotion you've been working toward all along.